Good morning and welcome to a beautiful and historic day at San Jose State University. I'm Michael Kimbrough, Chair of the Academic Senate. I'm pleased to declare the Investiture Ceremony for President Mary Papazian officially open. Now I ask that everyone please stand as San Jose State's Professional Drill Unit presents the colors. And now, pitch please. San Jose State's bow tie rockin' collegiate a cappella group will perform the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you, pitch please, and thank you to the Professional Drill Unit members for this morning. And now please join me in welcoming Father David Harutunian, Archpriest of St. Andrew Armenian Church, to deliver this morning's words of inspiration.
Dear Dr. Papazian and esteemed guests, first I wish to convey the heartfelt greetings and most genuine good wishes of His Holiness Karakin II Patriarch and Catholicos of all Armenians, and of His Eminence Archbishop of Nanderderian, Primate of the Western Diocese of the Armenian Church of North America and Mexico, who unfortunately could not be with us today. We are gathered here together for important function, the installation and inauguration of Dr. Mary Papazian as the 30th President of the Venerable and Laudable San Jose State University. We are participating in custom which began in the late Middle Ages and early modern period with the establishment of universities in Europe. This ceremony is designed to invoke divine blessings on the newly designated leader of this great institution and to invest that person with the authority to present and preside over it, and to exercise the authority granted to them by the higher officials of the notable educational enterprise. I think no one here needs to be reminded of the value of education as the most powerful tool to the society has to ensure its preservation in the present and its prosperity and happiness in the future. As countries continue to develop nuclear missiles and deploy other weapons of mass destruction, we understand that in reality we are engaged in a race with the forces of evil. Either we spread enlightenment as well as wholesome knowledge to the present and future generations, or the consequences may be too terrible to imagine. We are committed to this mission of knowledge and enlightenment. We pray that the visionaries and leaders of tomorrow, our children and grandchildren, will acquire a wealth of knowledge and wisdom within the precincts of San Jose State University, to be on the forefront of positive change. We pray this great institution will become a source of inspiration and transformation in their lives. We pray that the next wave of graduates will possess the academic skill to lead and inspire, to captivate and amaze, to heal and protect, but above all, to utilize the power of knowledge in their quest for the betterment of humankind. Dear Dr. Papazian, on this day, your installation as the 30th President of San Jose State University, we pray that Almighty and merciful Lord will lead and guide you in your most noble endeavor. May God's divine wisdom and peace accompany you as you embrace this new chapter in your life. It is your love and compassion for people, your honesty and forthrightness, your commitment to the highest standards, and your vision for the future that has brought you here today. Your outreach to the community has been exemplary, and it illustrates your understanding that in today's world, educational institutions and the public sphere must work hand in hand. Your leadership, which spans decades, is truly outstanding and highly commendable. May the Almighty bless and protect you and your loved ones, and may the Creator bless San Jose State University under your leadership. Աստված օրհնե ձեզի. Amen.
Thank you, Father Harutunian. Distinguished and honored guests, faculty and staff, members, students and friends, it is my honor to say good morning and welcome. Today we have gathered at the oldest public university on the West Coast to inaugurate Mary Papazian as the 30th president of San Jose State University. There are a number of special guests with us today whom I would like to offer a warm Spartan welcome. First, from the California State University, I'm pleased to welcome our Chancellor, Tim White. I'm also pleased to introduce several CSU presidents, presidents of neighboring institutions, and institutional representatives. Please rise as your name is called and remain standing. I ask that the members of the audience hold their applause until the end. Michael Ng, President, Santa Clara University. Gail Hutchinson, President, California State University, Chico. Leslie E. Wong, President, San Francisco State University. Reuben K. Mirzakhanian, Rector of the Qatar Abavan Armenian State Pedagogical University. Ellen June, President, California State University, Stanislaus. Leroy Murashita, President, California State University, East Bay. Mildred Garcia, President, California State University, Fullerton. Judy C. Minor, Chancellor, Foothill De Anza Community College District. Judy K. Sakaki, President, Sonoma State University. Horace Mitchell, President, California State University, Bakersfield. George Blumenthal, Chancellor, University of California, Santa Cruz. Jamila Moore, President, Cañada College. Dr. Lawrence Pitts, Chair of the Board, American University of Armenia. Eduardo Ochoa, President, California State University, Monterey Bay. There are a number of federal, state, regional, and local public officials with us today. Would you please stand as I call your name, and please hold your applause until the end. From the Republic of Armenia, Burj K. Abkarian, Honorary Consul. From the Office of State Senator Bob Bukowski, Anurag Pal. From the office of State Senator Jim Bell, Alex Wara. From the office of Assemblymember Mark Berman, Louis Marone. From the office of Assemblymember Ash Kyra, Shay Clausen. From the office of Assemblymember Evan Lowe, Patrick Aarons. From Santa Clara County, Supervisor and San Jose State alumna, Cindy Chavez. And representing the City of San Jose Mayor Sam Lockhart, City Council Member Deb Davis, City Council Member Sergio Jimenez, City Council Member Don Rocha, and from the office of Vice Mayor Magdalena Carrasco, Francis Herbert, City Manager Noberto Duenas, and several members of his leadership team. I would like to now introduce other members of President Papazian's cabinet seated in front. Please rise as I call your name. Jay Bailey, Vice President, Organizational Development and Chief of Staff. Reggie Blaylock, Vice President, Student Affairs. Charlie Foss, Vice President, Administration and Finance. Andy Feinstein, Provost and Senior Vice President, Academic Affairs. Paul Lanning, Vice President, University Advancement. Barry Schiller, Associate Vice President, Strategic Communications and Public Affairs. Marie Tuitt, Interim Director, Intercollegiate Athletics, and Kathy Wong Lau, Chief Diversity Officer. The only time I get to tell the cabinet what to do. You may sit now. At this time, I would like to acknowledge the faculty, staff, emeriti faculty, alumni, and community members who have joined us for this landmark occasion. Thank you all for being here. On behalf of San Jose State's faculty, administrators, staff, students, and alumni, I'm pleased to welcome Deborah Farrar, a member of the California State University Board of Trustees. A graduate of our sister campus at Northridge with a Bachelor of Arts in English and Master of Arts in Education, Dr. Farrar has served the California State University as a trustee since 1999. She was board chair from 2002 to 2004. Like President Papazian, she is committed to social justice and equitable access to high-quality public higher education. She is especially dedicated to increasing post-secondary options for traditionally underrepresented students. Trustee Farrar, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to San Jose State, and I now invite you to preside over these ceremonies.
Thank you, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and pleasure to represent the California State University Board of Trustees at such a special day for San Jose State University. I am pleased at this time to introduce to you several of my colleagues from the Board of Trustees who have joined me on the platform today. When your name is called, please rise and remain standing, and we will hold our applause till the end. First, I'd like to introduce Trustee Larry Norton, himself a Spartan, having earned his master's in English at San Jose State. Next, Student Trustee George Reyes Salinas. And next, Trustee Stephen Stepanek. And next is Student Trustee Maggie White. Thank you for being here. On behalf of the entire Board of Trustees, we are honored and privileged to be here today on this momentous occasion, and we offer our congratulations to President Papazian and the entire San Jose community. Now, at this time, we have several special guests with greetings for President Papazian. First, from one of our sister campuses in the California State University is CSU Fullerton President Millie Garcia, and I would like to invite President Garcia to the podium at this time.
Good morning, buenos dias. What amazing, marvelous day. I want to welcome the San Jose family and friends and community, and of course, the family of Dr. Papazian. She has a small family like mine. Only 30 could come, a little over 30 could come today. And of course, Sister President Mary Papazian. On behalf of all the CSU presidents and the nearly 500,000 students we serve, it is an honor to take part of the investiture of Dr. Papazian as the 30th president of the first public university in the West and the founding California State University, San Jose State. Over the last 160 years, 29 presidents have led this institution, and while it is on their shoulders that Mary now stands, it is the immense strength of her shoulders I want to talk about. Shoulders that are now covered in shards of glass, thanks to the many ceilings she had to crash through on her journey to this stage. Yes, she is the university's 30th president, but only its third woman president, underscoring the significance of her journey and the fact that it was driven by the very thing she is here to provide: equitable access to the transformative power of higher education for all students, regardless of where they're from, how they got here, who they love, how much money's in their bank account, what God they pray to, or what their gender identity is. And if you look at Mary's body of work, from her days as the Associate Dean of the College of the Arts and Sciences at Oakland University, where she revised search committee procedures to increase the representation of women and people of color among faculty and staff, to her tenure as president of Southern Connecticut State University, where she created the President's Commission on Campus Climate and Inclusion, it is clear that throughout her career, she is doing the very thing of the CSU: equity, inclusion, and access to higher education. Mary, you've come a long way, Sister President. We are so proud to have you with us as your colleague. And on behalf of the 23 University CSU presidents, 11 of whom are women, we welcome you and we say, welcome to the CSU President, Sister Mary Papazian.
Thank you, President Garcia. Student success is at the heart of the CSU's mission. Joining us on the platform today, representing San Jose State students, is Associated Students President Hector Perea, Jr., who will graduate next month with his degree in Business Administration. I would like to invite him to come forward at this time.
Thank you, Trustee Farrar. President Papazian, on behalf of my fellow students and the leadership of Associated Students, I want to offer you our sincere congratulations. We are excited to work with you and are encouraged by your vision, your values, and your commitment to social justice. With your leadership, I am confident that our campus will not only work to ensure that our students are successful, our campus will also work to ensure that this university, this community, and this world is a better place than what it is right now. Your ambitious vision for San Jose State University has given us a sense of duty, and we cannot wait to see all that lies ahead under your leadership. Again, congratulations, President Papazian.
Thank you, Hector. Now I would like to ask Professor Kimboro to return to the podium and offer greetings on behalf of the San Jose State University community.
Thank you, Trustee Farrar. I'm honored as the chair of the Academic Senate to represent the faculty and staff and students during this morning's ceremony and to participate in this singular moment in the history of San Jose State. In preparing for today, I was interested to learn about the history of investiture. According to Webster, in its original meaning, an investiture was the clothing of a new office holder in garments that symbolized power. In the Middle Ages, when kings or queens offered investiture of high religious rank, it created great tension between popes and monarchs and very often led to war. I assure you there's no such conflict brewing this morning. No worries. Now if we have any differences, we rely on the SJSU model of shared governance to resolve them. Investiture is used as in the modern times is a formal ceremony at which someone is placed in an office or given an official rank. In this case, the office of university president. An investiture provides an opportunity for a university to launch a new era and to celebrate as a community. Today, our campus community extends beyond our faculty, staff, and students. The presence of our distinguished guests and members of the public acknowledges the contributions of San Jose State to the lifeblood of the Valley, the state, the nation, and the world. A great city like San Jose is even greater for having a world-class university in its midst. We are proud of our connections to San Jose and beyond, and thank all of you for being part of today's celebration. Today marks the official end of the President's honeymoon period. It's also near the end of the semester, and as a faculty representative, I'm required to issue the President's final grade. I was about to enter a solid A for your innovation, your energy, your empathy, your transparency, and your commitment to social justice. Then I realized that I instead should record an RD. For those of you who in the audience who don't know, an RD signifies a work in progress. We look forward to all of your great accomplishments yet to come and the issuance of your final grade many years from now. President Papazian, it's been a personal privilege to work with you during your first 10 months on campus. As you formally take the helm of this great university, on behalf of the faculty and staff, I wish you continued success as you lead San Jose State into an exciting and transformational future.
And thank you, Michael, for your dedicated service as Senate Chair, among many other leadership roles. Many of you know that San Jose State is the leading supplier of talent to the Silicon Valley workforce. Spartans have advantages that can't be taught, among them grit, focus, and imagination. With a living alumni population of 260,000, a large majority of whom live and work in the Bay Area, you can see why San Jose State proudly declares that it powers Silicon Valley. Representing the proud alumni of the university is Colita McElroy, president of the San Jose State Alumni Association. I'd like to ask her to come forward at this time.
On behalf of the San Jose State University Alumni Association and over 260,000 alumni we represent, it gives me great pleasure to congratulate President Papazian as she is officially invested as this year's 30th president. The Alumni Association stands ready to support you, President Papazian, and the university in its efforts to enhance student success and fulfill its enormous promise. Working together, we can engage alumni in the life of the university and our students in ways that are mutually enriching. We are thrilled to have you as our president. On behalf of the Spartans, congratulations.
Thank you, Colita. Having the support of alumni and other community members is critical to the advancement of any university's Philanthropic support from individuals, public and private institutions is essential to providing a margin of excellence to students, faculty, and staff. The university's nonprofit Tower Foundation is dedicated to this important work. Here with greetings from the Tower Foundation Board of Directors is the chair, Mr. Ed Oates.
Thank you. On behalf of the Tower Foundation of San Jose State University and our Board of Directors, I'm very pleased to offer our congratulations to President Papazian. The Tower Foundation is a vital link to our community and engages prominent alumni and others in the work of this university. Each board member plays a critical role in this endeavor, and we strongly support President Papazian. We know she's the right person at the right time to move this university forward, and we're animated by her vision for San Jose State University. Madam President, we are eager to work with you and know the future is bright under your leadership. Congratulations and thank you.
We are honored to welcome two public officials who would like to present resolutions recognizing President Papazian on the occasion of her inauguration. First, I would like to ask Santa Clara County Supervisor Cindy Chavez, herself a San Jose State graduate and proud Spartan, to come forward.
Well, good morning. This is truly a joyful day. I get to say something I've been wanting to say for a long time, and that is welcome, Madam President. Now, Santa Clara County relies on San Jose State for the best and the brightest talent, for leaders to come into our social work department, for leaders to come and become public safety officers, run our ISD, be in charge of the county. All of those things we've been expecting for a long time from San Jose State. But we are so confident, Madam President, that under your leadership, we are going to get the kind of nuanced leaders that are ready to address a changing world, a world that feels and looks differently than it did yesterday. And what that requires is an even higher level of what you already do. Your professors teach people great content, exercise great leadership, and we're going to be looking for even more. So this is a commendation acknowledging this very, very wonderful and auspicious occasion. Could you please come forward so I could present it?
Our beautiful venue today is uniquely framed by historic Tower Hall, by San Jose City Hall, just to the north, and by the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Library. I was actually here at the opening, and I remember it well. The library is jointly operated by the university and city, and an enduring symbol of their close collaborative partnership. Representing the city of San Jose is the mayor, Sam Lockhart. Mr. Mayor.
Well, thank you. Good morning. I am thrilled to be here on this very exciting day for all of us and for our city. Madam President, you know, I think it just makes us feel better to say that, doesn't it? You've had a wonderful honeymoon, and now the marriage begins. And, you know, as I was sitting here in the front, and we were all enjoying our sauna together, I had the benefit of watching the sign language interpreter here in the front during the singing of the national anthem. And it was beautiful because the movements were so lyrical, and it was like a beautiful dance. And I thought, everyone should be able to see this, because you would think differently about our national anthem, an anthem that we so often just sing without thinking much, without the exuberance and joy. And it brought to me the notion that much is in the retelling. And as I have listened to President Papazian speak over the last several months, and her enthusiasm for this incredible institution, and her joy and her vision for what San Jose State University can become, I think this is our great opportunity to reimagine this great university and our city in a different way. This is, of course, more than just Mary Papazian's 30 family members. This is Mary Papazian's 35,000 family members and 2,000 older family members who are part of the faculty. Not that old, I promise. But it is this family we know that is so critical for our city and for this region in driving innovation in the most technologically advanced community on the planet, in breaking barriers for social justice, politically, economically, and culturally. We are so proud of this great institution, and we are so proud of this president and where she is going to lead us. So, Mrs. President, on behalf of the 1 million residents of the city of San Jose, we thank you and we honor your leadership.
Earlier this morning, President Papazian received a copy of the Congressional Record with official words of welcome from Representative Zoe Lofgren, Anna Eshu, and Roy Khanna. Resolutions from members of the Silicon Valley State Legislation Delegation also have been produced. The legislature is in floor session today, but I'm told that several legislators will return from Sacramento to attend tonight's gala celebration. I would like to thank all of the elected officials and staff representatives who honor President Papazian by their presence today. The university, and most of all, its students, depend on your support and partnership. We are joined today by Lynn Pasquarella, President of the Association of American Colleges and Universities. Dr. Pasquarella is a longtime friend and professional colleague of President Papazian's. Like all of us in the CSU, Lynn has a deep and abiding passion for public higher education and is committed to ensuring that all students have access to excellence in liberal education regardless of their background. I am pleased to invite Dr. Pasquarella to the podium to share some remarks on behalf of President Papazian's colleagues throughout higher education.
It is such an honor and privilege for me to speak on behalf of the higher education community in celebration of Mary Papazian's inauguration as the 30th president of San Jose State University. I first met Mary when she was the president of Southern Connecticut State University, and I was the president of Mount Holyoke College. She and I had the opportunity to attend a White House forum together on access and affordability after already sharing a mentoring relationship with a colleague aspiring to administrative leadership in the academy. Anyone who's had a conversation with Mary can attest to her energy, passion, and enthusiasm for championing liberal education and promoting higher education as a vehicle for addressing the growing economic segregation in academia. At a time when there's widespread skepticism regarding the value of higher education in general and liberal education in particular, Mary's vision for ensuring that all students are provided with the skills necessary to grapple with the unscripted problems of the future is more critical than ever. Yet perhaps even more important is the demonstration of authentic leadership, core values, and sense of purpose with which she undertakes her service as a leader in the academy. It should come as no surprise then that I was extremely excited when Mary agreed to join the board of the Association of American Colleges and Universities, not only because of her deep and abiding commitment to our mission of making liberal education and inclusive excellence the foundation for institutional purpose and educational practice in higher education, but because she serves as an exemplar in making visible and advancing the role of the Academy in catalyzing racial and social justice. It is a dedication informed by her profound empathy, moral imagination, her own lived experience, and her Armenian immigrant heritage. When asked in an interview what she would hope for all students, President Papazian referred to the inextricable link between liberal education and civic engagement by saying, quote, "I hope that they will understand that education is not only about them, but it's also about giving back to the community." Indeed, in all that she does, Mary reminds us that we need to do more than seek a good life. We must also seek a good society. In an era where there has been a decoupling of higher education and the American dream, Mary's leadership holds the potential for a re-envisioning of the landscape of higher education in a way that restores our nation's historic mission of educating for democracy. Her moral courage, intellect, and commitment to community are all that one could hope for in a university president. I am thrilled for San Jose State, for Mary, and for all of higher education.
We are ready for the official investiture of Dr. Mary A. Papazian as the president of San Jose State University. This moment commemorates the appointment of a new institutional leader. It is also an opportunity for the university community, its alumni, public and private partners, and the broader public to come together in a celebration of a rich past and a promising future. Dr. Papazian, I first would like to thank you for your commitment to students and service to this community and citizens of our state. Ladies and gentlemen, President Papazian and I share a common bond. We each hail from the Southern California community of Northridge. My connections to the CSU are enduring and deep. I earned 2 degrees at CSU Northridge and have served as a member of the CSU Board of Trustees since 1999. Over that time, I have had the privilege of meeting and getting to know many high-quality academic leaders. My fellow trustees and I understand that supporting Chancellor White and all 23 campus presidents is as important as anything we can do on behalf of the CSU. Mary Papazian is one of 5 new presidents, all women, I should add, to assume responsibility for leading CSU campuses in the past year. And I am confident that this campus is poised for great success because I know that you are a great leader. I am grateful for the opportunity to participate in today's proceedings. Now, on behalf of the California State University Board of Trustees, I offer hearty congratulations to President Mary A. Papazian on her appointment as the 30th president of San Jose State University. It now gives me great pleasure to invite California State University Chancellor Tim White to come forward. Chancellor.
Well, good morning. You know, it's a lot of people have been identified here, but I must say I'm very pleased to see so many students and student athletes here today to celebrate an important moment. So go Spartans. You know, the President Papazian is innovative. I think having all these men over here with their names and numbers on there. Hey, 7, Humphreys, get over here. It's time for your accounting exam. Sorry, Humphreys. At any rate, in 1857, the state of California needed educators that would raise up a new generation. And the state needed to lay its foundation, if you will, its groundwork for its society, economy, and democracy. And the state needed to prove that it could stand on its own for thousands of miles away from the nation's epicenter on the East Coast and in the Midwest. In short, California needed an institution of higher education, and the very first in the state of California, founded in 1857, continues today as San Jose State University. Generations, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Before those other guys. Generations of students, faculty, and staff have defined what it means to take public higher education and create an excellent university experience, not only for our students and soon-to-be alumni, but for the community. And as you know, so many live here in the Silicon Valley and around the world, fueling the economy and social mobility of our times. But the legacy of San Jose State extends beyond just that. It includes the seal on the systems logo. 1857 is an acknowledgement that all 23 campuses are really in existence today, a continuation of the San Jose State legacy. You were the first, the trailblazer. So in reality, the class of alumni here really extends to all 3.4 million living alumni, the majority, the vast majority who live, work, play, and prosper here in California. But your model extends even further from San Jose State because everybody else looks to us around the world about a great model of public higher education. And so in truth, your alumni really reaches tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people who emulate the California system of public higher education. Very impressive. We needed somebody to be first, and it was San Jose State University. This is a time of challenge and opportunity, as you know, not much different than 160 years ago when you were founded. Indeed, our society, our economy, our democracy are at inflection points. Our universities in California are at inflection points, and we need San Jose State to help guide us as an example of going forward in these times of change. Your legacy is secure, but today isn't about legacy, it really is about promise. The promise to California, and indeed the promise of California for the future for us, for this state, for this nation, and this world. That is the offer the trustees and I extended to President Papazian, an opportunity to be a leader as we move forward together for a voice for millions, a community of millions here and hundreds of millions beyond here. Mary gladly took up this call, this responsibility, and these last 10 months have proven that we made a good decision and that she, along with all of you here, faculty, staff, particularly the students, are ready to help continue in your leadership role. If President Papazian and Trustee Farrar could join me. By the authority granted to me by the California State University trustees, I hereby invest you, Mary Papazian, with the office of President of San Jose State University, with all the honors and privileges, and most importantly, the authority, responsibilities, and accountability pertaining thereto. Ladies and gentlemen, President Papazian.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I introduce the 30th President of San Jose State University, Dr. Mary A. Papazian. She will now deliver her inaugural address.
Thank you, Trustees Farrar, Norton, Stepanek, Reyes, Salinas, and White, Chancellor White, Mayor Liccardo, Supervisor Chavez, distinguished clergy and community representatives, colleagues, and friends. It is with enormous gratitude and deep humility that I embrace the opportunity to lead this storied institution. Responsibility for a public university, this university, is a sacred trust. The president ultimately is responsible for the welfare of every student and of the faculty and staff members who serve and support them. And as the founding campus of the California State University and the only public university located in the Silicon Valley, the world's epicenter of innovation, San Jose State also is a vital intellectual, cultural, and economic asset, and an essential community partner to our city and broader region. The Board of Trustees, the Chancellor, and all of you have placed enormous trust in me, and I'm determined not to let you down. This morning's Investiture Ceremony, the cloaking of a new leader in garments symbolic of the office, is as sacred as the institution itself. The ceremony dates back to a middle-aged religious custom and long academic tradition. And the term investiture is derived from the Latin investire, meaning to clothe or cover. The robes and accompanying garments you see today only occasionally are worn, and sometimes on a hot day like today, but typically on solemn occasions. I assure you that I will not be walking around in this robe on a typical workday. Today, however, is no ordinary day. Neither is it merely my day. To be sure, I am full of pride as I embrace the opportunity to lead San Jose State University. But this is also our day, our collective opportunity to celebrate the remarkable legacy of the West's first public university and to imagine the future of what can and will be America's premier urban public university. This, my friends, is our day to reintroduce this proud 160-year-old institution to the world. Over the next few minutes, I hope to do exactly that, while also answering a couple of fundamental questions. First, how has a professor of English literature and student of the late 16th and early 17th century poet John Donne come to lead a public university in the Silicon Valley, perhaps best known for its stellar programs in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? A university that supplies more employees to Silicon Valley companies such as Apple than any others. And second, what is the great-granddaughter of Armenian immigrants, a Southern California native who has spent nearly all of a 30-year career in the Eastern time zone, doing in Northern California? I'm here because my story is your story. My story is San Jose State's story. Now, every story has compelling characters, and let me begin by introducing a few of them to you. My three brothers and I were raised in Southern California by loving, devoted Armenian American parents, one born in Hollywood, the other an immigrant from Greece, who came to this country seeking an education. They were quintessential role models who valued family, community, and education. They taught us to respect tradition and to honor our roots, as well as to be proud citizens of the United States. A particularly vivid and lasting childhood memory for me is participating in the 1968 groundbreaking of the first Armenian Genocide Memorial located on public soil in the United States in Montebello, California. Although I was young at the time, even then I grasped the importance of the moment
and the power of a community bound together by a common purpose and a common history. Some of you may know that my mother passed away last February on Valentine's Day, just days after I was appointed to serve as your president. What you may not know is that today would have been her 82nd birthday. And so I feel like I am sharing our day with her. Now, my parents enjoyed a long and happy marriage of 60 years, and another lesson they taught me is that life is better lived in the company of the right partner. I came to know Dr. Dennis Papazian in 1988 when I left graduate school at UCLA and accepted my first faculty appointment at Oakland University in the greater Detroit area. At that time, Dennis was an established and esteemed faculty member at the University of Michigan Dearborn, a noted Russian historian, and the founding director of the Dearborn campus's Armenian Research Center, the only center of its kind in America. The child of immigrants from Istanbul displaced by the Armenian Genocide, Dennis himself was the youngest of 4 siblings. His brother had left to serve the United States in the Navy, and his 2 older sisters had taken jobs so that he could attend Wayne State University in Detroit. Like San Jose State, a vital urban public university serving students from highly diverse backgrounds and often the first in their families to attend a 4-year university. Indeed, it turns out that Dennis's story also is our story. Dennis and I were married in 1991. It is implausible that my career could have evolved as it has without his wisdom, support, adaptability, and sacrifice. Over the years, he turned down several opportunities, including a faculty appointment at the University of California, Irvine, to remain in Michigan, where he could live closer to and care for his aging mother. But when it came time for me to pursue opportunities in academic leadership, he was ready. Those opportunities eventually took us from Michigan to New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, and finally, for me, back to California and this wonderful opportunity. Dennis, I would not have been able to pursue or realize my dreams without you, and I'm eternally grateful. Ani and Marie, along the way, Dad and I were blessed with 2 amazing daughters. You are the light of our lives, and that is because you are remarkable daughters, willing to share your time with me as I pursued my professional ambitions. My heart bursts with pride at seeing how far you have come, and your dad and I live with joyous anticipation at all that is yet to come. Before going any further, I would like the San Jose State community, my professional family, to meet other members of my immediate family and close friends who have joined us today. I'm pleased to introduce my father, Hago Barshaguni, my brothers, Robert, Michael, and Paul, and their families, all of whom are with us today, my uncle, aunts, and many cousins and friends who joined us from near and far, from as close as the Bay Area and Southern California, where I grew up, to as far away as Taiwan and Canada, and from states east that we used to call home, Michigan, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. A special welcome to Rector Ruben Mirzakhanian from the Armenian State Pedagogical University, who has traveled from Yerevan, Armenia to be with us, and to the Honorable Berj Apkarian, the Honorable Council of the Republic of Armenia. Thank you all for sharing this special day with us. I would also like to extend a special thank you to my colleagues who have joined me on stage and offered kind words and reminiscences. To Millie Garcia, whom I first met in New York and New Jersey, and who is convinced that I am a New Yorker, and whose passion for our mission and the importance of opportunity for all continues to inspire me. And to Lynn Pascarella, who has traveled from Washington, D.C. to share this day with us. Your commitment to the liberal arts and learning, to mentorship and possibilities, and to a little fun from time to time, reminds me that we are all working together for a common purpose, and that nothing is impossible if we allow ourselves to dream and then work hard to fulfill those dreams. Thank you for your moving words, your friendship, and your commitment to our shared mission. I am grateful to be traveling this road with friends and colleagues like you. And to Chancellor White, the members of the Board of Trustees, my fellow CSU presidents who have joined me here today, thank you for your strong leadership and unwavering values. It is a privilege to work with and for you as together we chart the future of America's largest public university. And to all who have joined us today since planning for this inauguration and investiture ceremony began, it was always my intention that be a celebration of our university, its legacy, and its promise. And that is because San Jose State has a remarkably rich and vital history, very much worth celebrating. We are a campus of many firsts. We were the first CSU campus, and you have heard the largest public university in the world, the California State University, started right here as the California State Normal School. We spawned a Southern California satellite campus that became what is known today as UCLA, my alma mater. We offered the first degrees in women's studies and police science in the United States. And we joined with the city of San Jose in building the nation's first co-located municipal university library. The Martin Luther King Library, right behind you, in front of me, is a shining example of what is possible when universities think beyond their traditional boundaries and work together with their neighbors and other institutions. Yes, ours is a university of many firsts. In 2015, U.S. News ranked our computer engineering program first nationally among public universities offering bachelor's and master's degrees. The same year, Business Insider ranked San Jose State first nationally among universities most likely to help students land a good job in Silicon Valley. And just last month, Time magazine reported that our humanities graduates were some of the most successful in the country. That's right. Perhaps most important of all, many of our students are also firsts themselves. In fact, close to half of the first-year students who join us each fall come here intending to be the first in their families to earn four-year degrees, degrees that have the potential to transform their lives, as well as the lives of their families, communities, and future generations. To every member of the San Jose State community, I urge you always to remember, whether you teach and conduct research, administer a program, or help keep the lights on and our buildings and grounds safe, that you are making it possible for dreams to be realized. And speaking of dreams, let us return now to those fundamental questions. Why is a student of English literature, an admirer of 17th century metaphysical poetry, an Armenian American mother and daughter, called to lead a university best known for its STEM programs? And why is a woman leading the only public university in the heart of the Silicon Valley, a place known for innovation and discovery, yes, but also described 2 years ago by Newsweek as a front line, if not the trench, of the global gender war? I don't think the trustees made a mistake, at least I hope not. As some of you know, I am a student of literature. The primary object of my academic scholarship, the Renaissance poet John Donne, lived and wrote during a period of great unrest in Western Europe, what I like to call the last great area of innovation. The Renaissance period, which encompassed Donne's life, bridged the Middle Ages to the modern age. It was a period of awakening. And what happened in the Renaissance changed the course of history as the understandings that made possible the modern world emerged in learning, theology, geography, science, astronomy, medicine, literature, theater, and much more. It was during this period that man's understanding of the universe vastly expanded. The educated person rose in stature. The scientific method, the process by which knowledge is discovered and validated, was developed and defined. The movable type printing press was invented, facilitating the systematic spread of the printed word, and in the 1400s, the Gutenberg Bible came off the press, the first mass-produced book in human history. Printed music also became available for the first time on a mass scale, so that music itself could develop in new ways. The Renaissance triggered the democratization of knowledge, making information available in mass quantities on a scale never before encountered. So what has the Renaissance period to do with early 21st century society? or Silicon Valley, or the future direction of a public institution like ours? Plenty. The Renaissance was a transformative moment in human history, and we are now in the midst of another period of transformative change. Columnist and author Thomas Friedman, in his new book, Thank You for Being Late, calls the present day one of the greatest inflection points in history. Friedman's premise is that the greatest forces around us, technology, globalization, and climate change, simultaneously are accelerating. And as a result, society itself is turning on its axis. Everything is up for re-examination and reimagination. And while clearly these influences are global in scope, this revolution, a second Renaissance, is happening right here, all around us, in our own backyard. As the Silicon Valley's public university, San Jose State is positioned and poised to help reshape the future. This, I would say, is part of the essential mission of the public university. Rising to this challenge also is an invitation for us to evolve as individuals and as a society. And just as the Renaissance opened mankind's eyes to the reality that we did not sit at the center of the universe with the heavens revolving around us, so the technology age has opened our eyes to other stunning realities, including the potential of quantum physics. Then, as now, humanists and artists were every bit as essential as scientists to fully comprehending the world around us. Friedman called this the cognitive era, the merging of data and interpretive power spawning things like IBM's Watson supercomputer, the artificial intelligence solution that in 2011 defeated two former champions in a game of Jeopardy. Today, Watson has evolved from playing games to serving more than a dozen of the world's leading cancer institutes. That's Dr. Watson to you. Friedman argues that preparing college students for careers in this information age demands that we offer more of the three R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, as well as more of the four C's, creativity, collaboration, communication, and coding. Coding, collaboration, and communication go hand in hand with creativity. And everywhere we turn, from healthcare to agriculture, financial services, telecommunications, retail, and education, we see the convergence of technology and human interaction. Or have you not recently visited a doctor, auto mechanic, bank, supermarket, or called an Uber? We are living in a new innovation age, a second Renaissance, as you will. And where better than here at San Jose State University to connect the dots, science and math, the humanities and the arts, the social and applied sciences, while taking care to imbue every student with the critical thinking skills they will need to succeed in any industry, any discipline, any vocation, as our times might require. San Jose State long has been known as the Valley's go-to source for engineering and computing talent. We embrace this and we celebrate this. But we also were California's original teachers' college. We have educated and trained most of the Valley's nurses, social workers, graphic artists, journalists, and digital designers. This too we celebrate. How many of you have heard of Edwin Markham? He is among one of our very earliest alums, class of 1872. Markham, as described by our own professor of business, Annette Nellen, was, quote, a teacher, administrator, poet, lecturer, champion of social issues. Markham authored several books of poetry and used his artistic craft to influence social thought. He once wrote that poetry writing is as practical as bread making, and from a high ground, it is just as necessary to the life of man. Poetry is the bread for the spirit. It is the bread that is made of earthly wheat, and yet is mixed with some mystic tincture of the skies. It nourishes all the higher hopes and aspirations of man. As a student of poetry, I was thrilled to learn from a business professor, no less, that a campus best known for its STEM programs also produced such an acclaimed poet. And of course, we know that San Jose State has a rich legacy in the arts and a deep reservoir of passion and purpose for social good. Our challenge and our opportunity is to seize the moment to influence and shape history meaningfully in this, our present Renaissance. This means shaping the lives of our students while actively and thoughtfully engaging in the affairs of our city and our region. And why do I believe we are capable of this audacious calling? To answer this question, let me return to my Armenian American roots, from which I draw personal inspiration. The mountains that ring Silicon Valley sometimes remind me of Mount Ararat, the imposing and majestic mountain in eastern Anatolia that overlooks Yerevan, the capital city of the newly independent Republic of Armenia. Historically, Mount Ararat was considered to be the ancestral resting place of Noah's Ark, where human history and life itself was renewed. My people, the Armenian people, understand the meaning of survival and renewal. The Armenian genocide destroyed at least 1.5 million Armenians between 1915 and 1923, 75% of the Armenian people living on their historic lands, and led to what U.S. Ambassador to the Ottoman Empire Henry Morgenthau called the murder of a nation. Today, 3 times as many Armenians, an estimated 10 million, are scattered throughout the world as are living within the borders of the Republic of Armenia, formed in 1991 after the collapse of the former Soviet Union. This virtual nation made up of refugees, the Armenian diaspora, forges deep connections and unbreakable bonds. And just a few weeks ago, I visited the American University of Armenia, where I was invited to speak at a conference on the empowerment of Armenian girls and women. There, as here, women confront many barriers to equity. They are paid less for men for the same work. They are underrepresented in many professions and in leadership positions. My advice to participants at last month's conference was to lean into and not away from the issue of gender equity. No major challenge is surmounted through ignorance or neglect. And I encouraged attendees to take inspiration from others' efforts to ensure that women enjoy the same opportunities as men. Which brings us back here to an interesting fact. This university in 1862, 155 years ago, awarded its first teaching degrees to 54 graduates. The school was then known as the California State Normal School, and all of the graduates were women. And just last year, in 2016, the California State University, under the leadership of the Board of Trustees and Chancellor White, filled 5 presidential vacancies. All of the 5 new appointees were women. This is wonderful, but it is actually remarkable when you consider that today women hold only 34 presidencies among the nation's top 200 institutions of higher learning, roughly 1 in 6. Yet virtually half of our California State University campuses, 11 out of 23, are now led by women. Our chancellor and trustees truly are progressive and leaders. Give them a better round of applause for that, and my colleagues are here. You can understand why I'm so proud to lead a campus that so deeply values diversity, one that attracts students from such diverse religious, cultural, social, and ethnic backgrounds, and one that is devoted to supporting them through a period of uncommon social and political instability. I am animated by my love of literature and the arts, by my Armenian heritage, and by my pride in being an American and being part of a growing cohort of female leaders throughout the CSU. And there's something else that animates me in our work, and that is my mom. My mom was born in Hollywood, a brilliant student. She graduated from high school at age 16. She then matriculated to UCLA, where she became the first student to be elected Phi Beta Kappa as a junior. A mentor strongly encouraged her to pursue her doctoral degree in education at Stanford, but she had already met my father, and they married young, which is what you did in those days. And my 3 brothers and I were born in short order. So rather than pursue her doctoral degree, my mom earned a teaching credential. And once my youngest brother started elementary school in the late 1960s, she went on to teach at the local Armenian high school that had opened in 1965. This was the first Armenian high school in America. My brothers and I all went there. My mother taught there for 30 years. We lived next door to the principal and founder of the school. This was very much a community and family affair. My mother taught English and American history, actually all history, but English was her first love. She was a fan of the British poet Lord Byron, who himself learned Armenian while living in an Armenian monastery on the island of San Lazarus, just off the coast of Venice, Italy. My mother was that teacher. Every school seemed to have at least one, who challenged her students and truly prepared them for college. Every one of her students would tell you that college was easier because of how well she prepared them. She had them writing essays, reading, developing their study skills. She was renowned for the notes that her students had to take, and also for her exams. No multiple choice tests for her students. You had to be able to think and write. Her students later said that the discipline on which she insisted was life-changing. My mother didn't care if you were an A student or you struggled. She saw every student's value and potential. She cared equally for each one. And as educators, there is a lesson there for all of us. My mother died early last year, shortly after I was named to serve as your president. Many of her former students returned for her funeral and all said pretty much the same thing. She always valued me. My mother was very excited that Dennis and I were returning to California, and she was the one person I knew who knew that San Jose State had given birth to UCLA. I didn't know it at the time, and nobody else I talked to seemed to either, but she knew. She had a rich sense of history and wide-ranging knowledge. Who else would do the New York Times crossword puzzle in ink? Actually, she did it in pencil, but turned to ink. Today, May 4th, as I said earlier, would have been her 82nd birthday. If it isn't already obvious, my mother was a remarkable woman and my role model. And in her memory, I offer this pledge. As your president, I will strive daily to match her compassion for people, her impeccable honesty, her humility, her devotion to students, and her insistence on excellence. Now let me conclude with a few words about our future. First, let me be clear. We did not need an investiture ceremony, and you did not need a new president to reaffirm an essential truth. San Jose State University is an extraordinary institution. Your greatness is revealed not through a litany of historical facts, although some of them are quite impressive, nor is its greatness proven by any of its buildings, although surely even a few are historic and might even evoke a sense of nostalgia. The true greatness of San Jose State University is revealed in its people, in each of you. Our people are our legacy, and they are our promise. And since arriving last July, I have formed many impressions of San Jose State. None, though, are as powerful or memorable as the opportunities I've had to listen to and engage with people on our campus and in our community. In the course of a year that at times has been uncommonly stressful, you guys know that, I have observed endless examples of people extending their hands and hearts to care for others. I witnessed this in the wake of a divisive national election, and I witnessed it again in the wake of devastating local floods. The same values that animated my youth, concern for others' welfare, and a commitment to doing the right thing rather than the easy thing, animate our campus and community. And why would they not? Many of our students, including the thousands who are first in their families to pursue a four-year degree, and those from immigrant families in foreign lands, are true risk takers. If they are willing to step out of their comfort zones, I believe we can step out of ours. I also believe we are capable of working together to find ways to work more seamlessly. I believe we are capable of increasing collaborations across academic disciplines and beyond established administrative structures and organizations. And I believe we can dream bigger dreams and take bigger risks. In fact, I know we can do all of this and more. Many of you have heard me say that great cities and great universities go together. In New Haven, I led a public university that for a very long time sat in the shadow of an elite Ivy University. I believe you've heard of it. Its name rhymes with whale. Perseverance, self-confidence, and sheer effort put Southern Connecticut State University on the map. Its impact felt throughout the region has steadily increased. And even more so, San Jose State is vital to this city's intellectual, cultural, and economic vitality. We are essential to this region's prosperity and quality of life. Evidence of this is all around us. This includes our alumni, now more than 250,000 strong, a majority of whom live in the Bay Area. It includes the 40,000 students and employees who animate this campus every weekday. It includes the countless visitors we attract year-round. And it includes the many university-sponsored programs and activities that bring year-round intellectual, cultural, social, and economic diversity to our city and region. Ours is a great university sitting in the heart of a great city. Together, our capacity to do great things is limitless. We know some of what lies ahead. We will build a new science and innovation complex, opening doors to academic and research partnerships. We will expand and renovate spaces here and on the South Campus. We will seek opportunities to expand further our footprint beyond our present borders and into the city. We will collaborate in producing a long-term strategic plan to inform and guide our decisions. We will prepare for and launch a comprehensive philanthropic campaign to attract the private support necessary for us to reach our full potential of success and service. We will join leaders from city and regional government and private industry in seeking solutions to vital quality of life issues. History also suggests that we will encounter unanticipated opportunities and an unexpected challenge or two. And I am confident that we will be ready for whatever comes our way. And why am I so confident? Because I believe in you and I believe in us. And I am committed to being here to see our dreams fulfilled. We are the inheritors of a grand 160-year-old legacy. And while the work ahead may at times seem daunting, before us sit limitless possibilities. The future is ours. Let's go for it. It's time to get started. Thank you all very much for joining us.
Thank you, President Papazian, for a most wonderful inaugural address. And now, okay, now that you've both been seated, now would you please stand as the Symphony Orchestra and Concert Choir perform the San Jose State Alma Mater, Hail Spartans Hail. Please join me in thanking Dr. Jeffrey Benson and all the musicians for the wonderful music they have shared with us today. Will the musicians stand and please be recognized? Be seated. It is a great privilege to welcome to the podium Reverend Jethro Moore, Father John Padigo, Rabbi Lisa Levenberg, and Sumina Sundas for closing reflections.
Our Creator, God, source of wisdom, compassion, and understanding, we ask for your blessing as we depart from this celebration of the inauguration of San Jose State University new president, Dr. Mary Papazian. As we affirm your presence in our midst, we dare to step forward with confidence and conviction as the university's president prepares our campus to influence life locally and globally in ways seen and unseen. This campus will shape our potential which, when we work together, seems limitless, now and deep into this century.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, more merciful, most beneficial. After speaking with Dr. Mary just for a little bit and hearing her, I'm sure she's going to create San Jose State a village that would raise all of its students, staff, seniors, handicapped, immigrants, everybody. So this would be a place to be. In Islam, Quran says, "O mankind, we created you from a single pair and divided you into tribes and nations, so you may get to know each other, not that you despise each other." Dear God, we ask for your blessing and continued presence as she charts our course for the future. May the course be one with a vision for how best to develop your gifts to us of the mind and of the heart, so that those who leave these halls of learning may go forth with a clear call to serve our community, our nation, our world. Thank you.
We pray, merciful and loving God, that you place your blessing upon President Mary Papazian as a new president of San Jose State University. We offer thanks for the gifts which you have bestowed upon her and the gifts she herself brings to this community. Of teaching and learning, we ask that you give her strength and vision, tenacity and patience, conviction and compassion. Bless and sustain her through the joys, rigors, and challenges of her position, that she and San Jose State University may successfully seek the fulfillment of the mission of San Jose State to enrich the lives of its students, to transmit knowledge to its students along with the necessary skills for applying it in the service of our society, and to expand the base of knowledge through research, scholarship, together. Amen.
And at this time, I invite the marshals and band to begin the recessional. Thank you all very much.